Hello everyone, welcome to Lukmaan IAS. Today we are going to have the daily current affair analysis, daily news analysis dated 17th of March 2023. So today we are going to look into those important articles that have been in news, right? And we are going to understand about the nuances of the topics that are in news, and these topics are going to be important for the UPSC prelims and mains exam of 2023. So let us quickly look into the topics that we are going to discuss for the day. So the first article is related to helicopters. Okay, so we are going to discuss about two different types of helicopters. One is like Cheetah helicopter and another is Cheetah helicopter. So what are these helicopters all about? These are the helicopters that have been indigenously developed by one of the organization in India, which is known as HAL, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So this particular organization develops multiple technologies that are being used by the defense forces in India. And if I talk about these helicopters like Cheetah and Cheetah helicopters, these helicopters are used for let's say those areas where which are considered to be difficult areas, like high altitude areas, etc. So recently, why these helicopters have been in news? These helicopters have been in news because one of the helicopter, which is Cheetah helicopter, this helicopter met with an accident. Okay, this helicopter met with an accident. Okay, and in that accident, some of the armed forces personnel have been killed. Okay, these armed forces personnel have been killed. So what is important in this article? In this article, the important thing is the location where the accident has happened. This is one important aspect. Apart from this, the second important aspect is about these helicopters like Cheetah and Cheetah helicopter. And also the third important component would be about learning Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, about learning HAL as an entity. Okay, so let us discuss about where this incident happened. This particular incident has happened in Arunachal Pradesh's Bomdila region. Okay, so there is a place in Arunachal Pradesh, okay, Arunachal's Bomdila, where this particular incident has happened. Why the incident has happened, what actions have been taken afterwards, we are going to discuss about that as well. Okay, so the thing is, the incident has happened because of multiple factors. One of the factor was associated with, let's say, loss of connection, loss of telecommunication connection, or the communication between the helicopter and air traffic control. Okay, ATC, which is in short known as ATC. So that loss in communication happened at about 9:15 AM in the morning. So after loss of communication, people have started suspecting whether something has happened with the helicopter. Later on, they have initiated probe. Probe means a kind of investigation. Okay, a kind of investigation that is initiated by some of the agencies like armed forces, right? So they have created some of the, let's say some of the teams, and these teams have started looking for the helicopter, what has happened with the helicopter and the personnel who were on board in the helicopter. Okay, so they have identified that that helicopter has crash landed somewhere, and this location is Bomdila region in Arunachal. Okay, and two pilots have been killed in that particular incident. 2 pilots have been killed. So this is the update related to this particular news. So what you need to do after attending this particular discussion, you need to locate where is Bomdila Pass located. Okay, Bomdila Pass, if you read about geography, you read about mountain terrains, you read about mountain passes also. So in Bomdila we have a mountain pass. You can locate that particular mountain pass in a map and remember the location of this particular place. Why? Because many a times in the prelims exam you do receive questions, you do see questions from these specific locations that have been in news. This is one important aspect that we have discussed. Apart from this, if we talk about the Cheetah and Cheetah helicopters, right? The Cheetah and Cheetah helicopters, these are specific kind of helicopters that are being used by Indian Air Force and also military, right? Different types of defense forces are using these helicopters for multiple service purposes. Okay, so name of the helicopters are Cheetah and Cheetah. Okay, so these are in service helicopters. However, these helicopters are not new. These helicopters have been built by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited years back, and many of these helicopters have, I mean, like, run out of time. What do we mean by run out of time? Means like equipments, like many of the equipments in these helicopters have gone outdated. Their communication system have gone outdated, and most of these helicopters have already decommissioned. Decommissioned means they have been kept away from the regular use of armed forces. This is one thing. Apart from this, what has happened? Some of the helicopters, around 200 helicopters, I would say around 200 helicopters from Cheetah and Cheetah variant are still in use by the armed forces, are still in use, and these are in use because they are in good condition still, but they need an upgrade in that particular region. Okay, so around 200 of these helicopters are still in use by Indian Air Force and Army. Okay, so why these helicopters are important? Because these helicopters are military grade helicopters. Okay, so the Cheetah helicopter is a high performance helicopter designed by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, okay, HAL. Okay, so it is identical to Lama 3A, means there is another grade of helicopter which is found in the European region. So the thing is this Cheetah helicopter is similar to that particular grade. Okay, it is a 5-seater multi-role, multi-purpose, highly maneuverable helicopter. Okay, so these are some of the features of the helicopter that has crash landed in Bomdila region of Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, so this helicopter is suitable for commuting, observation, surveillance, logistic support, rescue operation and high altitude missions. Okay, so if we talk about the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, right, this is an Indian state owned aerospace and defense company. What do we mean by Indian state owned? Means it is a government entity, it is a public sector undertaking. Okay, Hindustan Aeronautics Limited is a public sector undertaking, it is a state owned, means government of India owns this particular entity, and it is headquartered in Bangalore in India. This particular organization has been established on 23rd December 1940. Okay, we are in 2023. You can see more than 80 years, I guess, have passed since Hindustan Aeronautics Limited was established. So this particular organization has 11 dedicated research and development centers and 21 manufacturing divisions under 4 production units spread across India. So HAL is managed by Board of Directors appointed by the President of India through the Ministry of Defence, Government of India. So HAL comes under Ministry of Defence, Government of India. Okay, so we needed to learn about HAL also. Apart from this, we are going to talk about another topic. Okay, another topic. So that was the first topic. What were the important things in the first topic? Is about the incident that a helicopter has crash landed, the variant of the helicopter, similar types of helicopters, and the manufacturer of the helicopter, and also the location where this crash land has happened. Okay, so with this we will move to the next topic. We are going to discuss about the second article now. It says Mount Merapi in Indonesia erupted with avalanches of searing gas, clouds and lava. Okay, so there is a mountain, right? There is a mountain, there are multiple mountains in Indonesia. One of the mountain is named as Mount Merapi. This particular name is important, Mount Merapi in Indonesia. Why it is important? Because this particular Mount Merapi has recently erupted. We have recently seen volcanic activity. Okay, we have seen volcanic activity. What it means, it is an active volcano. It is an active volcano in Indonesia. Okay, so there has been a recent eruption. Eruption means the volcanic activity has happened, and volcanic material has started coming out from this Mount Merapi, and because of this particular thing, the eruption has blocked out the sun and blankets several villages with falling ash. No casualties have been reported. I mean none of the persons have been killed, and Merapi is the most active of more than 120 active volcanoes in Indonesia and has repeatedly erupted with lava and gas clouds recently. Okay, so it means it is one of the most active volcanoes of Indonesia. Indonesia has more than 120 active volcanoes. Okay, so if we talk about geographically, okay, so it is geographically located on the border between province of Central Java and special region of like Yogyakarta in Indonesia. Okay, so special, like it is located between Java and special region of Yogyakarta in Indonesia. The youngest in a group of volcanoes in southern Java. Okay, so this particular volcano is the youngest, right, among the group in southern Java. Okay, it is situated at a subduction zone where the Indo-Australian plate is subducting under the Sunda plate. So you might be knowing that, like, you know, if we talk about plate tectonics, if you read geography, if you read geomorphology in geography, you will understand about plate tectonics. We do have plate tectonic theory, and these plate tectonic theories are mentioned, like, you know, there are multiple theories associated with this. One of the theories is plate tectonic theory. Okay, I guess it is given by Harry Hess. So the plate tectonic theory talks about, like, you know, that there are about 8 or 12 major plates, and like we have minor plates, and these plates are moving, these tectonic plates are moving, right? Either the plates are coming towards one another, or like they are going away from one another, or they are like moving in a lateral direction like this. Okay, means like this. Why? If they are coming together, coming closer, if two plates are coming closer, they are known as convergent boundaries, means like they are converging. If the tectonic plates are going away from one another, it is known as divergent plate boundaries. Okay, like, so divergence is happening between them. Okay, and then like if the plates are moving like parallel to one another, that is like, sliding past one another, that is known as transform boundaries simply. Okay, so these are different types of plate plates that are I mean, like, in theory, that are there in NCERT books also. So what you need to do, like, after reading this article, you need to locate where is Sunda plate located. Sunda plate is a minor plate. You need to remember Sunda is a minor plate. Okay, Sunda plate. Okay, so you need to learn about plate tectonics theory. You need to learn about different types of plates. Okay, different types of plates, and also you need to remember the name of the plates and location of these plates. Okay, so why it is important? Because, like, it has recently in news, it was recently in news. Okay, so like you also need to learn about volcanoes, different types of volcanoes, active volcanoes, dormant volcanoes, and also, right, active dormant volcanoes, and also different types of materials that are erupted from the volcanoes. Then you need to understand about, like, volcanic zones, the places where, like, volcanic activity happens regularly. Okay, so that is the thing. With this, like, we will move to the next topic. I hope you understood the crux of the previous topic. In previous topic, we discussed about an active volcano that has recently erupted in, like, Indonesia. You need to remember the name of the volcano, you need to remember the location of the volcano, you need to then understand about plate tectonics theory and the name of the plate that we discussed. You need to locate that plate also. With this, like, we will take another topic for discussion. Okay, this topic is related to Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, okay, which is in short known as SIPRI. Okay, so Stockholm International Peace Research Institute has recently released some documents that has claimed that India is the world's largest arms importer for the period between 2018 and 2022. Okay, so during this period, India was the largest importer of arms in India. Means, like, across the world, India became the largest importer. We are importing ammunitions, we are importing arms in Indian border, right? So why this article is important? This article is important because we need to understand about where these Thank you. So we need to understand about the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, what this particular organization talks about, where this organization is located, what is the importance of this organization, and we will also discuss about the status of arms import and export of India, right? So here, according to this particular organization, right, it says like India was the largest arms importer between 2018 and 2022, okay? So like let us understand about SIPRI, means Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. So this particular institute was founded in 1966 by the Swedish Parliament, okay? And this particular institute is located in Sweden. Where is Sweden located? Sweden is one of the country in European Union, okay? It is one of the country in European Union. So it is an independent research institute. What is the objective of this institute? Its objective is to conduct research on issues related to international peace and security, including arms control, disarmament and conflict resolution. It is funded by the combination, it is funded by a combination of government grants, private donations and project-based funding, okay? So this particular institute is an independent organization based in Stockholm, based in Sweden, okay? And this particular organization is funded by, through government grants, and like private donations are also received by the institute. Then SIPRI is based in Stockholm, Sweden, but has a global reach and influence, with its research and analysis informing public policy decisions and public debates in many countries, okay? So SIPRI, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, is a credible organization that has released multiple research papers in the past, and that has shaped the policies of different countries, and also like it has raised debates among intellectuals across different countries, right, in the world. So this is about Stockholm International Peace Research Institute. Now if we talk about India's arms imports and exports, so India as a country, I mean like we need to safeguard our borders from any external influence, and also we need to make it sure that like people inside India remain peaceful, right? They remain peaceful, and also like they do not face any difficulties. So for that, like we need to maintain a credible level of, let's say, weapons with our armed forces, whether they are police forces like who are let's say like maintaining law and order within the country, or they are, let's say, armed forces that are guarding our borders, the land borders and the maritime borders, okay? So for that purpose we need different types of arms and ammunitions, right? So India is not manufacturing all the weapons that it needs. We are importing many of the weapons. We are also exporting some of the weapons to other countries, okay? So India is the, if we talk about the status of India's arms import and export, so India is the biggest arms export market to Russia, France and Israel, and second largest export market to South Korea. What do we mean by this? It simply means like Russia, France, Israel and South Korea, they export their arms to Indian markets. Indian government is importing arms from these countries, and India was also the third largest market for South Africa, which was ranked 21st in the list of arms exports, okay? So India is the largest market for South Africa also, okay? Like we are importing weapons from South Africa as well. And for the same period, India remained the largest arms importer, followed by Saudi Arabia, Russia accounting for 45% of India's imports, followed by France and the US, okay? So India was the third largest arms supplier. Now we have talked about India is importing weapons, arms from other countries. Now is India also supplying weapons? Is India also exporting weapons? Yes, India is also exporting weapons. It is the largest arms supplier to Myanmar after Russia and China, accounting for 14% of its imports. And India is now looking to become a significant exporter of defense equipments by aiming for $5 billion in exports and $22 billion in turnover by 2025. Okay, so it's a very recent target. We are already in 2023. Within 2 years, we are aiming for $5 billion worth of exports of arms and ammunition from India. Okay, so this is the status of arms import and export. And also we have discussed about SIPRI, Stockholm International Peace Research Institute, right? With this, like, we are going to talk about another very important topic. This topic is one of the most important topic from today's discussion. So it says Prime Minister greeted Sikh community on commencement of Nanak Shahi Sammat 555. Okay. So here what has happened recently, the Prime Minister of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, he has greeted the Sikh community on the commencement of Nanak Shahi Sammat. So what is Nanak Shahi Sammat? This is important for us. We need to understand about Nanak Shahi Sammat. So Nanak Shahi Sammat is a kind of calendar. It's a kind of calendar system. Okay, it's a kind of calendar. And like who this calendar is built for? This calendar is built for the Sikh community. Okay, so you might be knowing we are generally following the Gregorian calendar. Gregorian means it's a kind of English calendar where we have the months as January, February, March up to December. So how many months we have in a year? We have 12 months in a year. When the year begins on 1st of January, when the year ends 31st of December, right? So this is the English calendar system. We generally know it as Gregorian system. But apart from this, in India, we have, different other types of calendar also. You might have heard about Saka era, right? If you read about government documents, in government documents, like, they mention the dates, in two different ways. One of the ways is like mentioning the date as per the international system. I mean, like by following the English thing. Other is like, following one of the Indian calendar system, I guess Saka era, right? So similarly, like this Sikh community, I mean, like they have developed a calendar for themselves, which is like, known as Nanak Shahi Sammat. So now let us understand about Nanak Shahi Sammat. What is this? It is a calendar system that was introduced by Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, SGPC, in 2003. Okay. So Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee, they have introduced this particular calendar, which is known as Nanak Shahi Sammat, and they have introduced it in the year of 2003. After then, this particular calendar system is named after the founder of Sikh religion, Guru Nanak Dev Ji. Okay, so Guru Nanak Dev Ji is the founder of the Sikh religion, and this was this was named after him like on his 500th birth anniversary, and it is a tropical solar calendar used in Sikhism. Okay, the reference epoch of the Nanak Shahi calendar is the birth of Guru Nanak Dev, corresponding to the year 1469. Okay, so like when the calendar begins, this calendar begins from this particular time period, 1469 CE. Okay, so like after the birth of Guru Nanak Dev, you might be knowing the English calendar system that we follow. It follows Jesus Christ, I mean like BC AD system. BC means before Christ, AD means Anno Domini, in the year of Lord. So like we are in 2023, it means like it has been 2023 years after the birth of Jesus Christ. Okay, and before this also the world has been running, and if we want to go to that time period, like we use the BC system. You might be knowing when you read the Indian history, when you read the ancient Indian history, you read about like some of the, let's say, kingdoms in the past. You read about, let's say, like Harsha, a time period of Harsha, then you read about some ancient period. So like we use BC things to refer to very past, like very old things. So similarly, this calendar, I mean like it has a reference epoch period from the date of birth of Guru Nanak Dev Ji. It is based on Bara Maha, means like it has 12 months. It is a like solar calendar. Any calendar, I mean like that refers to the sun, earth and moon system, that is known as simply solar calendar, simple. Okay, because like we complete one revolution around the sun in 1 year. How many in 1 year? So in 1 year, how many months we have? We have 12 months. So similarly, this calendar follows that system. Then the year begins with the months of Chat, okay, with one Chat corresponding to 14th March, okay. So on 14th March, the first day starts, okay, first day of the calendar starts. In English system, 1st January is the first day of the year. In this system, in Nanak Shahi Samvat system, so first day of the year will begin on 1 Chat. And if we refer it to the English calendar system, it will be 14th of March, okay, 14th of March. So this year's Nanak Shahi calendar has been dedicated to the 200th birth anniversary of the martyrdom of Akali Baba Phula Singh, 300th anniversary of the birth of Sardar Jassa Singh, Ramgarh, and the 100th anniversary of Jaitop Front. Okay, so these are the information related to this calendar system. Okay, so this is a separate calendar system. This calendar system has been built by the Sikh community. It has been introduced by the Shiromani Gurudwara Prabandhak Committee in the year of 2013. Okay, and why this calendar system has been introduced? To this calendar system has been introduced in the name of Guru Nanak Dev Ji to bring the importance of Sikh community to the forefront. Okay, so this is all about this particular article. With this, we will take another topic for discussion. This topic is about this Singapore Army, means it's a joint, what we say, it's a joint military exercise. Okay, so generally different countries participate in joint military exercise to exchange the know-how between their military personals, to train their military personals in some other territory. Why? So there are systems across the world where one country participates in joint military exercise, joint naval exercise, joint air force exercise, so that they can exchange the know-how, and also people can get trained in different landscape. Okay, so we can have different types of exercises. We have military exercises, naval exercises, exercises conducted between the air forces, which is air exercises, and there can be tri-service exercises also. So one of the example of those exercises, this army exercise between the Singapore Army and Indian Army. Okay, Singapore and Army and Indian Army, they have conducted army exercise, and army basically they guard the borders. I mean, army is used in the border area, so they guard the land borders, and they safeguard the land area. So what is the name of this particular exercise, joint military exercise? It is known as Exercise Bold Kurukshetra. Name of the exercise is Exercise Bold Kurukshetra. Okay, so it is a bilateral military exercise. Bilateral means between two countries. Okay, it is a exercise between militaries of these two countries. It is a bilateral military exercise between Indian Army and Singapore Army. The 13th edition of the exercise was held at Jodhpur Military Station, India. The name of the exercise is Exercise Bold Kurukshetra. This is name, this is not the location where the exercise is being conducted now. Okay, now it is being conducted at Jodhpur Military Station, Jodhpur, I mean, which is located in Rajasthan. All right, the exercise was first conducted in 2005. The 13th edition was hosted by Indian Army, and the exercise involved soldiers from the 42nd Battalion Singapore Armored Regiment. Okay, and the armored brigade, armored brigade of the Indian Army. This joint exercise aimed to enhance cooperation, build a common understanding of mechanized warfare, combat emerging threats, and adapt to evolving technologies. It involved an understanding of mechanized warfare in emerging threats and involving technologies developing interoperability. Okay, so it's a joint military exercise between Singapore Army and Indian Army. Okay, the Singapore Army and Indian Army. It is being hosted by Indian Army. At India, it is being conducted at Jodhpur military station in India. Okay. So this is all about this topic. After then, like, we are going to talk about another topic. This is again a very important topic because it highlights the importance of safeguarding the wild animals, saving their lives, giving them protection from influence of human beings. All right. So in this article, we are going to talk about a high-powered committee that was recently formed. Okay. And so high-powered committee led by former judge was tasked with procurement or welfare of wild animals by rescue or rehabilitation center or zoo. Okay. So recently a high-powered committee. What do we mean by high-powered committee? High-powered committee means a committee that is formed by some government agencies, maybe Government of India. So they have formed a committee, and this particular committee will have its members who are, like, high-ranking officials from any domain, right? One of the official is former judge. Okay, former judge. One of the judge is also a member of this particular committee. Okay, and apart from this, there are other members of the committee. We have the Director General of Forest, Head of Projects, Head of Project Elephant Division from the Ministry of Environment, Forest and Climate Change. Then this committee also has a member secretary. He is from the Central Zoo Authority of India. Then it will have chief wildlife wardens of the states to which the issue relates to will be co-opted as members. Okay, so why it is high-powered committee? Because high-level officials are members of this committee. What is the purpose of this committee? The purpose of this committee is to safeguard the life of wild animals and help procurement of these wild animals by some of the protection authorities, protection agencies, for rescue or rehabilitation centers or zoos. I mean, zoo is where, like, we see different types of wild animals. Then, like, there are rehabilitation centers. So the purpose of formulation of this committee is to help these wild animals get rescued, help these wild animals get adopted by some of the zoos so that, like, their protection can happen. So this high-powered committee was initially constituted to oversee the transfer of captive wild elephants from northeastern states, and its ambit was restricted to Tripura and Gujarat. The jurisdiction has been expanded to cater to all wild animals in need of rehabilitation or rescue anywhere in India. Okay. So initially, when this particular committee was formulated, when this committee was established, that time the mandate of the committee was to rescue or like oversee the transfer of captive wild elephants only. Okay, captive wild elephants, those elephants that are wild but like they have been in captivity means like they were under supervision of people. But now the the mandate of this particular high powered committee has been expanded such that like all wild animals will be taken care of by this particular committee. Okay, so this is a step in the right direction, because like animals also have their rights, which is known as animal right. Okay, so this is the thing. The committee may consider request for approval, dispute or grievance concerning transfer or import into India or procurement or welfare of wild animals by any rescue or rehabilitation center or zoo. State and central authorities should report the seizure of wild animals or abandonment of captive wild animals to the committee. Okay, so these are some of the like mandates of this particular committee. So this committee will work for overseeing the transfer of the wild animals from India to abroad and procurement of wild animals from abroad to India, and also like it will help the other agencies, those agencies that are going to rehabilitate the wild animals. They are going to help the zoos in procuring these wild animals. Okay, the committee shall be at liberty to recommend the transfer of ownership or captive animals or of seized wild animals to any willing rescue center or zoo for their welfare, care and rehabilitation. Okay, so these are some of the mandates of this particular committee. Okay, so this is all from my side for the day. Apart from this, I just wanted to share one information that we are conducting the 400 Dreams scholarship test. This is an all India level scholarship test where the top 10 rankers will be given admission to the GS Foundation course absolutely free. Okay, so you need to register for this particular test. The registration is free. You can visit our website, register for it, and the examination will be conducted on 30th of April 2023. The examination will be conducted in offline mode across different cities in India. The list of the cities are mentioned in the website of Lukmaan IAS. You can visit over there and you can register yourself for that. Okay, and like we are also running the GS paper 2 foundation batch, and this batch will be taken by S. Ansari sir. The batch is going to start from 12th of June 2023. Okay, you can register for this batch also. So that's all from my side for the day. Thank you so much everyone for attending the session. I hope you have a good day ahead. Thank you.